Welcome to this Talking Hoosier Baseball Media Availability Edition. Today is Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. Members of the media met with Indiana head coach Jeff Mercer, junior center fielder Bobby Whalen, senior outfielder Hunter Jessee, and graduate student lefty pitcher Big Seiler, who has just been announced as the Hoosiers' Friday night starter. The Hoosiers open up at Auburn in Alabama on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
Expectations for this weekend?
Yeah, we'll start with Seiler on Friday. We'll go Ty Bothwell on Saturday, and then we'll kind of TBD on Sunday. I feel good about 4 or 5 guys that could start on Sunday. So it's a good position to be in from that standpoint, where we're not kind of pigeonholed, so we can use the guys that we need to use on Friday and Saturday to try to get a win or two out of those, and then we'll have Sunday, and we'll kind of figure it out when we get there. So I'm certain that there'll be a couple guys there that can start on Sunday and give us some good innings there.
Do you have a couple guys in mind that you think could start Sunday that you may wait to use Friday or Saturday?
Honestly, I there's no one that will hold for Sunday if we need him to try to win a game, essentially. So we'll use the best guys that we can to win a game, and then we'll and I know it sounds cliche, but we really would take it day by day. So hold Ben and Ty for Friday and Saturday, and then use whoever we need to use to win a game, especially because the first 3 or 4 weeks guys are on pitch counts, and they're going to be 75 to 85 pitches, somewhere in that range, and so with the pitch limits, you're looking at kind of blocking games off a little bit, and you're going to have multiple guys. So it's not one of those things where Jack Perkins goes 8 innings, 2 runs, and got to finish the 9th. Like not for the first several weeks here. So, but yeah, kind of like the normal 5 or 6 guys that you would probably imagine that you look at, Brooks Eye and Seti Manese and Ryan Kraft and Gabe Levy and Luke Sennard and Cooper Hellman's been really good the last couple of weeks. Luke Hayden's made a big step in the last couple of weeks, and so Adrian Vega's done really well. So there's plenty of guys that could start that Sunday ball game, but we'll kind of use whoever we need to use, all hands on deck Friday and Saturday to get a win or two there and move on.
And how close are you guys to being fully ramped up as a pitching staff?
I'm sorry?
How close are you guys to being fully ramped up as a pitching staff?
Yeah, we're outside of a few nicks and bruises, we're pretty healthy. So you're always going to have 1 or 2 guys down, but we're pretty healthy, and I feel pretty good about it. The young guys have done a good job, and it's always good when you have a good offense, because then you get a lot of really accurate feedback. And so when you have some of those young guys, Reisdorf and Whitaker and Foley and Aiden Decker-Petty's had a really good couple weeks too, honestly. You have some of those young guys that go out there and compete every day. You watch them get better, and so yeah, we're in a good spot on the mound. And I feel like we're able to manage games better. We've obviously worked hard to hold runners and to use a slide step when we need it. I mean, you practice these things every year, but like I've kind of talked in the past, or the last couple of weeks, is like, do you make it the most important thing that you do every day for a month? And when you're with young guys, you're going to have to. So I feel good about that stuff. I feel good about the pitchability of the group. They're ready to go play. It's just time for them to go do it in the field and get some bumps and bruises and walk a guy and get out of it and just go play.
You've got a lot of depth behind the plate.
Mm-hmm.
How do you expect to deploy your catchers this weekend?
So we'll use primarily Matt and Pete, and then we'll kind of figure out game 3 from there. You're exactly right. So now I've talked to those guys. With Brock Tibbetts being back healthy again, being able to catch, Brock gives us some flex there, but also Roddy Langerman, the transfer from Maryland, has done a good job defensively. So the group, we will use the entirety of the group, and especially to put us in better situations offensively. You as a coach, you're a little bit in between on how quickly you want to assume guys' roles, as far as, well, this guy can't hit this kind of pitching and that. So I may give it a little bit of a run and kind of a gut feel, but once those become more established, I'd like to work guys into situations where they're comfortable offensively or successful offensively, and then use the depth of the catching to do that. If you started Matt and then brought in Pete as a closer catcher, and then you had to go to an offensive matchup, I'd feel comfortable bringing in Brock or Riley as a third catcher in a game. So at some point you will see that. At some point we'll see where we'll catch 3 different guys in a ball game, which is a bit unique. But just having the depth offensively, you got to make sure that we can utilize the depth of our offensive group, and a really good way for us to do that is in the catching core. So I would say we'll split a game with Matt and Pete, and then kind of based on how the first 2 games go, and then Sunday we'll make a determination. And it won't necessarily be on who catches well and who hits well, because honestly they both caught well. Pete's caught well and thrown well. Matt's made tremendous strides defensively, worked really hard, thrown really well. It really, a lot of it depends on the matchup Sunday from, I think they're throwing a lefty now, kind of came out, yesterday they're throwing a lefty now, but also how the rest of the team plays and who goes where. And then, Matt's either going to catch or DH primarily. So he's going to be lined up every day, but what does the rest of the team do that helps us make that decision for Sunday? And a lot of times those things, as you know, they kind of bear themselves out over a weekend, and by Sunday it's usually pretty obvious what you want to do. But yeah, we'll try to use it as best we can.
Have you drawn up that first lineup card yet?
Like 15 of them. Yeah, I have no idea. I was asking my wife this morning, and she was feeding our daughter, and kind of looked at me like, am I supposed to have a legitimate response to that question? Those questions about your lineup? So, no, I've drawn them all up and kind of looked at them. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. It's always there's 2 times that lineups are hard. The lineups are hard when nobody can hit, and the lineups are hard when most everybody can hit. Those are the 2 hardest ones. So I would rather have the latter instead of the former, and have a lineup where you feel good about being able to run 9, 10, 12 guys out there. So there's a bunch of different ways we could go. I don't have it yet, no. And neither does my wife, so I know that for certain as well.
When you've been able to schedule, you like to schedule tough toward the front of the season. What do you hope to gain, especially from a trip here against an SEC power like Auburn?
Well, I think and I've talked about it several times, but you talk about the feedback loop where you get so much more information so quickly. Especially somebody like Auburn that plays a style of baseball that we would like to be able to play, very fundamental. They can pitch and they play defense. They put the ball in play, don't strike out, right? They're going to walk as much as they strike out for much of their order. Really high character. It's just really good fundamental baseball, which you have to be able to play. And we've done that at Indiana in spurts, right, where we've really pitched it in spurts, we've defended in spurts, and we've hit in spurts, but we haven't put all of it necessarily together all at the same time. So when you go down and play something like this, you're going to be held to a really high standard, and then you go out there and you live and you learn through it and from it. And it gives you a lot of information really quickly. And I tell people, if you want to be able to succeed in the postseason, if you want to be able to go there and have a legitimate chance, they don't play the postseason games in a neutral site at an empty stadium in the middle of nowhere, right? They're going to play postseason games in front of 5,000-10,000 people calling you every name in the book, and you have to be able to go into those environments, and you have to be able to persevere those things, and you have to play against good teams that if you make 2 errors, they're going to make you pay for it, and if you walk 2 guys, they're going to make you pay for it, right? And so what I hope to gain from that would be is a lot of experience, a lot of confidence, knowing that you can go and compete in those environments, and then the preparation for what we have to do to adjust to be able to go and have a really successful campaign for the rest of the season. And we'll have a chance to do that in the first couple of weeks. And the more you do it, just like with anything else, the more you do it, the more you go play those things, the more normal it becomes, the more normalized it is, and that becomes just the standard and the expectation. And then you just don't know any different. You just do it every day. This is how we do it. This is what we do. This is normal, standard operating procedure, and that will become for us very shortly. This is just what we do the first 2 or 3 weeks every year. You go play really good teams. You get used to playing at that level, and then you go play the rest. You play the rest of the season that way.
Got time for a couple more.
With Matt and Peter catching, there's a lot of platoon guys left over. Taylor, Tibbetts, Cerny, go forth, other guys like that. So even though you haven't set a lineup, have you been sort of focusing in on maybe who a DH could be in that scenario?
Well, Matt's going to DH if he doesn't catch. But realistically, with us, beyond that, there's a couple guys that you look at and say would be realistic DH options, right? Carter and Hunter Jessee are good DH options. You've got Tyler Cerny, Evan Goforth, Devin Taylor. Those guys are all really good DH options as well. Just because you have the defensive ability in the outfield and the depth to say, okay, you can pull one of those outfielders out of the game, out of the defensive lineup, and keep that bat active the entire game, right? So sometimes you may go defensive replacement. Sam Yerson is just such a good defender that we've got 3 or 4 really good defenders, but Sam Yerson is an elite college defender where you're just going to want to play defense late with him just because he has a very, very unique special skill set. So if you ever want to keep in the game the entire game, you can use it as a DH. And then obviously your matchups, righties and lefties. We have to be a little bit cautious of not DHing your infield guys as much, primarily because you may need them after an injury, right? So you have to be a little bit cautious. You have to be really confident with your your fifth infielder. So let's say if you DH Cerny or DH Goforth, and the guy that's in the game gets hurt, Pine gets hurt. Now all of a sudden that guy has to go in the game to play. Now you have to feel really confident in your fifth infielder to do that. So yeah, there's 4 or 5 guys that could fit in there pretty easily, and Murison gives us a ton of depth. And the fact that we can play defense in the infield does give me more confidence. I feel fine with Georgie if he goes in. But yeah, it's kind of a jigsaw.
Take one more.
You've been outside quite a bit the last few weeks. How helpful is that to actually get real practices outside?
Yeah, the big thing is the cuts and relays, the pop fly priorities, like getting balls up in the sun, those kind of things. Being on turf and going to play on dirt is always kind of like the major concern, how blocking pitches and getting some reads and some hops and those things. But we have been really fortunate to be outside just for the fly balls, the communication, those kind of things. Live at bats, ball speed, those kind of things. There will be a few things. We got to get a bunch of ground balls on dirt, right? And try to get some blocks in and those things. But yeah, we have been fortunate in that regard to get outside and to do it. So it helps a ton.
So that's kind of what you'll be doing tomorrow night then?
Oh yeah. I'll have to wear batting gloves. I'll be hitting a bunch of fungos, and we'll have the pitching machines out fired up, trying to get a bunch of blocks on dirt. And like Coach Stanton was really fortunate or really kind, going to allow us the boys to go over and get some ground balls on the softball field today, and then we'll get a bunch of reps in tomorrow on the dirt and keep it in front, knock it down, keep it in front, pick it up, and throw it to first base. And it doesn't always have to be a beauty contest. Just get it out.
Bobby, how have you kind of seen the outfield depth play out this spring so far?
Oh yeah, it's been really good. Kind of a good competitive nature with us. We're all trying to play, obviously, and it just makes everyone in the outfield even better because of that competitive side of it. And yeah, we're all best friends, and we're just having fun, and it's awesome to have the depth where we have it.
It's good to see you again. Primary base stealer last season, as Coach Mercer sort of stressed that sort of continuation of being aggressive on the base paths with you.
Yeah, it's just part of my game. It's something that I love to do, and I just like to play hard, and yeah, I look to keep that going. Opening weekend, start aggressive.
What are you just looking forward to, getting out on grass and actually, competing out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to try to win a game. It's been a while since we got the chance to compete against a different team, and yeah, I think all of us are just going to play aggressive, have fun, and we're going to be competitive.
How do you feel you're doing with the bat right now?
My swing feels good. Made a few adjustments this offseason. Yeah, feeling confident going into the first game.
Okay.
What's leadership-wise? You started every single game last year. Kind of what's different for you now, both leadership-wise and second year being a full-time starter?
Not much is different, really. I mean, everyone is in the same boat that I'm in, so we're just all the returning guys are just trying to help the freshmen along. We got a really good freshman class. They've been working really hard, and they've been performing in the scrimmages. So yeah, I would say just all the returning guys just trying to help the freshmen more than we did last year. And yeah.
What is as someone who's gotten to hit against this pitching staff for most of the fall and last few weeks, what's your impression of the pitching staff as we go into the start of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of confidence in all of them. They all compete very hard. They all throw strikes. They all have good stuff. I mean, sometimes I get mine, and a lot of times they get theirs. And yeah, it's very good pitching staff.
So from what we're seeing, there's at least the previews for Auburn have at least their most likely Friday and Saturday starters. Have you guys gotten a chance to take a look at that prep yet?
Yes, so I think they just changed. I think they're starting righty. I think it was like 90, 97 to start Friday, and then they switched think whoever was supposed to throw Friday is now throwing Saturday. I think we just got that today, and they're starting a freshman lefty on Sunday. Yeah, we're prepared. We watched some video and stuff. We'll go more in depth tomorrow and obviously Friday. Yeah, confident. They got good stuff. We're just excited to get down there and go compete. Yeah.
Last year, you didn't play a whole lot, start the season, didn't even make the trip to Clemson. Some guys will be in your shoes this year. What do you tell them?
Yeah, I think obviously that was hard. Obviously, everyone wants to travel and wants to be there with the team. But you just kind of just be prepared. I mean, there's injuries, stuff happens. You never know. Just keep working. That's what I told a lot of younger guys is coming in. It's kind of hard if you get kind of the bad news to start the year. And some guys give up, some guys, but we just kind of talked about it and just come prepared. You never know when your time's going to be, when this team's going to need you and when you got to step up. So just kind of told them, be prepared. It was a good situation last year for me. I kind of got in a lucky spot and took advantage of it. Just kind of told them to be prepared.
Was there a time last year where things kind of clicked for you at the plate?
Yeah. So me and Simmons kind of worked last year. I think my first trip was the trip to where were we at? Texas. Me and Sim kind of worked down there. Kind of started feeling my swing was at a good point. And just kind of trusted it. Got a couple of pinch hit opportunities. Did fine with those. And was kind of able to work my way up. It's like started DH and then I was able to get in the outfield. And just gives us all confidence. Just get to the plate with a lot of confidence. So.
I know we just talked to Bobby about the outfield depth. How have you kind of seen you guys gel this
Yeah, I mean, so we all live in the same house. We're all best friends. It's all friendly competition. Everyone, whoever plays. We're not gonna. We're all excited for each other. It's a good group of guys. We like getting out there, competing every day. BP's awesome. Just working together. It's been a good thing to see from this group. No like selfish players or anything, which is good. Kind of help the team environment. With us being a lot of the older guys. I think it just kind of shows leadership with this team. I think we're at a good spot leadership-wise and a team like Joe-wise. So I think it's been really good.
This is more personal, but how do you grow a mustache?
So my grandpa's had a mustache for ever since I remembered him. And then so I think it just went through the family. I got lucky. Good genes,
When
I
did you
guess.
start growing it?
This this
wasn't
one?
around all year last year.
This one probably like a month and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
Maybe,
Okay.
I think.
But when did you start rocking the mustache look?
Last year.
That's what I thought.
Last year, I think I had it maybe my first trip and you couldn't tell, and then I dyed it for pictures, and I said I'm just gonna go, and then I shaved it off and restarted, and now it's just natural.
You mentioned that all of you four outfitters are best friends. Do you guys have any friendly competitions or bets on the line between you guys?
No, not baseball wise. I mean, we play a lot of video games together, so a lot of crap talk with that and stuff. But that's pretty much it. Friendly. I mean, I think we're teams into chess now, so we play a lot of chess against each other. I guess that. So.
Who's the best player?
We're all not very good. We literally just started. We used to play cards the last couple of years, and we got bored with the cards, so we switched to chess. So.
What was that?
I don't know. We just need something new. I think it's just something new that we all kind of were like, we'll give it a try. So.
Back to baseball this weekend. You guys obviously facing off against Auburn. What are you looking forward to most going into this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's a good environment. Obviously, with them just coming from the College World Series, good team. They have a lot of depth. We have a lot of depth. I think it's going to be a battle. I think we're both going to be gritty teams. I think it's just going to come down to whoever's tougher. They got good arms. I trust our arms as well. I think we're just ready to get down there and compete. I mean, once you practice for this long, it's about time to switch it up, get some different opponents in there, and we're just excited to go. So.
You guys have talked a lot about depth this season as well. What have you done coming from last season to build up that depth and to really get that healthy team environment?
Yeah. So depth I think it can go one of two ways. Obviously, guys can take it the wrong way and think that building competition around you is a bad thing, and that you can just take it the wrong way, I guess. I think this team's done a really good job. I mean, we have like 14 hitters you could throw out there, and everyone on the field would have complete trust in them that they're going to get the job done. And I think that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. And when we show up to the field every day, we're just ready to go, and this group of guys we want to succeed, not individually, but like for the team. Like I guess that'd be the biggest transition in my time here. It's not about getting yours. It's just what's the team you need at this time, and Mercer's gonna do a great job putting those guys in the right positions to get the job done.
Take one more for Hunter.
I know it's early in the year, but what would you look for as a success this weekend? What needs to happen for this weekend to be considered a success?
Yeah, I mean, I just think you just want to see you guys go out and compete. So this being my senior year, I just want to see you guys go out there and compete. I mean, I think we have the ability to go out there and win the series. That's the plan going into every series is to win it. But just to see you guys go out and compete, see the pitching staff go out and compete. A lot of these guys, it's their first time throwing for Indiana. So just seeing them go out with some pride and compete with the name across the front of your jersey, it's going to be great to see. Just to go out and win the series. That's the plan. So.
You've got the Friday night gig. So what did it feel like to get that news?
It was great. I mean, Merce sat me down in his office on Tuesday, talked about it. You know, it's something that I kind of had my eye on since I've been here. But I knew, I had to earn that opportunity to start Friday night for us. So it's nice. The job's nowhere near done. I mean, the season hasn't even started yet. So I'm just looking to go out there and do my thing and have some fun.
If you're feeling pretty good in the fifth inning, what will have happened up to that point?
Ooh, that's a great question. I've attacked, thrown all 4 pitches for strikes, gotten some weak contact, a couple strikeouts here or there, but no, just staying on the attack with these guys. You got to be able to mix it up. You got to throw all your pitches for strikes, and that's my strength, and I'm going to play off that on Friday night. It's a new team, so for them, I mean, they've been to a College World Series, but it's a new lineup, so I'm just going to try to trust my strengths and play at those as much as possible.
Thoughts on opening up in such an environment?
Oh, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I haven't had that many environments coming from where I came from. We did schedule a tough non-conference schedule at Siena, but when you show up to a place with Indiana on your chest, it means a little bit more. But I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be super fun.
So you do feel like you've got all your pitches working right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just from last week, we were kind of tuning some final things up, and then yesterday I threw my last pen with Coach Clant, so everything's feeling good, and we're just ready to roll.
That concludes this media edition of Talking Hoosier Baseball. We will be back with post-game media from Auburn. See you at the BART.